All right, we are back on the Andre Duke Show with Carter Smith, and my camera does not want to cooperate today.
Right on fucking cue, man. Oh, I shouldn't
Friday
say
the
that in the
13th,
first 2
baby.
minutes.
Yeah, but right on
Right on
cue.
cue.
The camera cuts out, but it is a Friday. I got Richie and Carter joining me today. How are you guys doing this evening?
I'm doing good, Duke, and it's Friday night. I'm just chilling here, just watching, seeing what's on TV, hanging out with you guys. Can't complain.
Yeah. I'm doing good, man. It was a good week. Had a lot going on this week. Everybody's getting ready for the holidays. Did a little Christmas shopping. Had to get some gifts for the kids and things like that. And then I have my kids this weekend, so missing a couple holiday parties tonight to be on air with you guys. But also I have my kids, and I didn't want to not have them. So. But other than that, man, it's a good week. It's a pretty laid back week. A lot going on in the world of sports as far as people going and transfer portal and LeBron's not playing and a lot going on. But ultimately, not a lot happening this weekend. There's the Army Navy game that we know about, but other than that, man, it's a pretty laid back week. A lot of moving parts on the back end of things, but nothing too exciting on the action part. But how about you, Duke? How was your week?
Everything's relatively good. Can't complain. Getting ready for the weekend. Gonna fire up the smoker this weekend. It's gonna be a little cold, but
yeah.
But
what do we got going on the smoker this weekend? What are we doing?
We're gonna have a couple of chickens, whole chickens, and then probably Sunday tri-tip.
Okay, you gonna spatchcock those chickens? Maybe stuff a beer can up their ass? What are you gonna do?
I think I'm gonna cook them flat.
Yeah,
spine them out, cook them flat.
Yeah, spatchcock them. Yeah, there you go. That's the best way to do a chicken. If you haven't done it, it's pretty easy. You just cut the spine out, break the breastbone, lay them flat. They cook nice and even. Little spoiler alert: we might do it. Duke and I might be doing a little off-season programming this summer and spring, where it's just come hang out with us. We'll smoke some meats and maybe have a bourbon or a cigar or something, and hang out and just talk football and share tips, because I've been smoking meat for pause. I've been using a smoker for a little while now, and it's fun. I enjoy doing it. So that might be a little off-season content for you guys. But this weekend I'm not doing anything on the smoker. It's a little too cold for me, and I just got too much going on. But I did Blackstone up some smash burgers tonight that were fucking fire.
Ooh, that sounds real good.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, outside of that, let's get into the football. There was a little bit of an issue going on at San Fran that's making its way through the internet.
Yeah, they had a guy, Devondre Campbell, who essentially pulled a little Cadavian or Cavion Pope or whatever his name was at Ohio State. Little Antonio Brown action, and just quit in the middle of the game. He was, I guess he was upset because he wasn't in the starting lineup, and then they told him to go back out there at some point during the first half, and he just said no. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, boo-hoo, I didn't get my way.
I would say that I think there's, judging upon how everything is gone in San Francisco this year, winning, as they say, cures a lot of ills, and winning fixes everything.
No.
And they're not winning, and a lot of the things and a lot of the frustrations at this point in the season, are going to bubble over. I don't know where this guy's at as far as contract-wise. Is it a contract year? Does he have a long-term deal or seeking a long-term deal?
I'm not 100% sure. I know this is year like 8 or 9 for him, so it's not like he's on his rookie deal or anything like that. Like, this is a vet. He's what they call tenured. He's in the pension program. Like if he retires right now, he gets his pension. But yeah, he's on year 8 or 9, I believe. And Kyle Shanahan came out today and basically said, yeah, we're moving on without him. That could be in the form of a suspension, releasing him. It all depends on the money. And I believe they have grounds for suspension, like I guess that would be insubordination, right? Your boss tells you to go do your job and you tell him no, that's insubordination, right?
Right. This kind of has the workings just like when AB walked off against the Jets back in 2021. So to me, I think they're gonna cut him. I think they'll cut him like maybe midweek.
Yeah, I think it all depends on the money, because if he has a lot of guaranteed money, they might try to suspend him for the rest of the year to reduce the amount of money and then whatever. I don't know exactly how that'll work out. But I did see also George Kittle's comments about it. I don't know if you guys saw that. Did you guys see what George Kittle had to say about it?
I briefly saw it.
Yeah, so he was asked about it, and he basically said, like, yeah, I've never seen that happen. I didn't really know what was going on at the time. If I had known, I would have addressed it directly. And he basically said, fuck that guy. Like, he quit on his teammates. I have no respect for him, which I don't hate. Like,
I don't hate either.
It is what it is, man. Like, I don't know. I can't imagine doing that. First of all, as a professional, like,
it's your job.
Your job is to fucking do that. Like, you don't like how something's going.
Yeah,
well,
millions
and
of people
it's
kill that position.
Yeah, well, that, and then also like it's so perfect that it happened on like a primetime game, like. But he had to have been doing it for, like, he knew it would be national news. I don't know. For the entertainment standpoint, like, I don't know if you guys watched that game last night, but that game was fucking awful.
I thought it was a great game. I loved it.
Oh my God, it was atrocious.
I thought it was great. You got two teams battling out defensively, low scoring game in the rain. I thought it was great.
It was just bad football. It looked like bad football. Like, it was not entertaining. They kicked 6 field goals in the game, 4 by the Rams, 2 by the 49ers. Like, it just wasn't a good game. And if you're sitting there on San Francisco, at the time he quit, I think they'd only given up 2 field goals. And you're sitting there and you're like, dude, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, we're doing our job. We've held them to 2 field goals. Go score some points, offense. Like, do something.
Debo dropping balls.
Yeah, but
they might blow it up. I think this come this offseason.
They might have to. They might have, and isn't this the year that they have to give Brock a contract?
Yeah.
Do you give him a contract?
I mean, I would. He's essentially your franchise quarterback. You got to.
Yeah, but is he? Like, I haven't seen anything that tells me he's a franchise quarterback in the NFL. Like, he's good.
He's a game manager, but he's not.
So you're going to pay him $40, $50, $60 million a year? Because that's what he's going to demand. He's going to demand Dak Prescott money. And, like, I'm sorry, I don't think Dak's very good, but he's way better than Brock Purdy. I don't know.
I mean, we'll see what Lynch does. I mean, and CMC's done.
Yeah, CMC's got to be done. I think you move on. I think you move on from CMC, trade Debo, maybe trade Kittle if you can get anything for him. You offer Brock Purdy the same deal that Baker got. I think that's a reasonable amount to pay a quarterback that's not an elite quarterback. And if he doesn't accept it, you move on from him as well and just blow the whole thing up. I mean, there's no way they can keep it together. They're getting old. Some of their guys, like Kittle's getting old. CMC is obviously a shell of himself. I don't know. It's crazy. But in college football news, is there going to be a shift in NFL coaches where they're going to switch to college football? because obviously we know we have Bill Belichick, who, if anybody doesn't know, accepted the head coaching position at North Carolina. He is going to be the Tar Heels' next head coach. Guaranteed $20 million in NIL, guaranteed crazy amount of money for staff. Already hired Mike Lombardi as his GM. I mean, he's moving and grooving down there, and he's making things happen. And there's already a bunch of guys that want to go there, one of which we'll talk about later in the show, who has some offers from Big Ten schools, but North Carolina's on the list. Do you think there's going to be a shift in college football where NFL head coaches start gravitating towards college football because it's becoming more of the NFL game without the restrictions of the NFL?
I would say so. It's more of a wide, broader spectrum as far as talent. They're not going to be limited to the cap, a salary cap. Signing guys, franchising guys, franchise tagging guys, trading draft picks, all that stuff that the NFL has to deal with. I could see some guys jumping ship, coming over to college and leaving the NFL.
Yeah. Well, right now there are 6 current or will be current head coaches in college football next year that are NFL head coaches. You have obviously Bill Belichick, Bill O'Brien at Boston College, Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, Matt Rule at Nebraska, Greg Schiano at Rutgers, and then Jim Mora at UConn. And if Chip Kelly were to leave Ohio State as the OC and become a head coach somewhere, that would be number 7. And Mike Vrabel could come back. I mean, there's a lot of NFL experience that is kind of flooding into the college football world. And Duke, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think this is kind of the wave of the future for college football?
I don't know if it's a wave. I think it's the thing that I think some of these guys that, kind of do the flip-flopping back and forth with the back and forth. It's really wild on how, like Matt Rule, some of the things that went on at Carolina, was it really Matt Rule or was it the organization?
Yeah.
Do I think Matt Rule could have been successful? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if he would have went to the right place, he could have been successful. I think the NFL is such a different animal to the fact of, when you take a college coach, they're in charge of the entire program. It's one of those things that it's big. It's a big picture thing, and I'm not going to say that some of these guys that haven't been successful, like Jimmy Johnson, was one of the first to do it.
Barry Switzer.
Well, I'm gonna Barry Switzer. No? Barry Switzer.
He inherited Jimmy Johnson's team, basically.
Yeah.
That's what.
So real quick, while his name's brought up, I have a funny Barry Switzer story, if you want, or finish your thought, and then I can tell that.
Pete Carroll, very successful, but I think Schiano was. I mean, he's the only guy that's been able to have success at Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
There's very, very few people that have had success there at some of these cities. Schiano's an East Coast guy, and I mean, obviously, he gets the climate, landscape, and in that whole New York, New Jersey region. It's a big undertaking, I think, to try to take over a program like that. But I think the Belichick move is kind of a thumb at the nose of the NFL people.
Yeah, I mean, I think he made it pretty clear that he doesn't like the way the NFL is trending, and he doesn't like the kind of politics that go into it. But I think also when you look at that list, the 6 coaches I just named, I mean, do you honestly, like, other than Bill Belichick and Jim Mora, do you honestly think of the other guys as like NFL guys? Like, yeah, they coached in the NFL, but like Shiano was one stop right in Tampa, failed miserably, went back to college. Bill O'Brien, one stop in Houston, failed miserably, went back to college. Most of those guys, Lane Kiffin, I view Lane Kiffin as a college guy. Like, I don't view him as an NFL guy. He has NFL experience, but like Bill Belichick and Jim Mora are the 2 guys that are like NFL guys that came back to college. And like, not even came back. Bill Belichick's never coached college football in his life.
Well, there is a ton of differences, obviously, looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Belichick can go there and
I was go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it's the Belichick thing. I don't think it's a bad move. But I will push back on the Bill O'Brien thing because he was the only person to have him and Dabo Swinney were the only people to have success with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I'm not saying he was like a bad NFL coach, but he only went to Houston, right? He never went anywhere else.
Yeah.
And the issue with Bill O'Brien was
he wanted to be the GM like Belichick.
Yeah, but there was. Yeah. I know some things about that situation that.
Yeah, but
I don't want to get into, but
regardless of all that, I think I thought I liked the hiring by North Carolina when they hired Bill Belichick. Hold on, I promise you, he is. He absolutely 100%. He's looking at NIL 100%. I don't know. I can promise that's a fact. Now, I don't know what you think. Do you think he's going to go to the NFL? Because I also know for a fact that if he gets the 2nd round grade for the NFL, he doesn't want to go this year. So I promise you he is. That's fine. Yeah, he wants to go to the NFL. I get that, but if his grade doesn't come back the right place, then it might make sense to make a little NIL money and up his grade. Anyway, we'll get into all that. But Belichick hiring Mike Lombardi as his GM gives me reason to question whether he will be successful in college, because Mike Lombardi, I don't know if you guys know who that is. I mean, obviously his last name people know, but he's been a GM. He's been a GM in the NFL a lot. Actually, pretty bad at being a GM. And he's going to come to college and be good at it. I don't like that hire personally, but that's just me.
I don't hate the hire. I think
Browns fans do know Mike Lombardi. He's the reason. I mean, he had a lot to do with 1-31 in 2 years.
I don't know. Is Lombardi really going to be doing? Because Belichick's going to have final say over the roster.
Yeah, but I think he's going to be doing what Pantoni does at Ohio State.
Yeah,
which is essentially be the GM, right? You're in charge of recruiting, you're in charge of NIL, you do all that. And I just don't know. I know Mark Pantoni can do it. He's done it his whole career in college. I don't know if Mike Lombardi can, because it's not the same as being the GM in the NFL. It's a lot different. But that's just,
I had somebody that's really, really that was wildly successful in college football, and I asked somebody about, why they were so successful and how they got those players, and it was in the evaluation process. If you can figure it out to project guys to the NFL,
Yeah.
And that was one thing that I thought Belichick did well. I think that he found guys that were he found Danny Amendola. He found Julian Edelman.
Mm-hmm. He also missed a lot.
I think he was bad at draft wideouts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Ty Law, Lawyer Malloy, Teddy Bruschi.
Yeah, he can definitely evaluate defensive talent. That's never been a question. He needs somebody that can help with the offensive side of the ball. He wasn't great at identifying any talent on offense. Honestly, his receivers weren't good, other than he found a couple slot guys that were good, like Amendola and Edelman. Gronk, obviously, good evaluation. Aaron Hernandez, good evaluation, just bad evaluation of character, maybe. And then obviously he struck gold with Tom Brady, but his quarterback evaluation outside of Tom Brady was terrible. None of those guys, even the guys that came in as backups and went on to become starters, weren't good NFL quarterbacks. Mac Jones was a bust. I mean, you can go down the list. Matt Castle, the fucker that started for the Browns for a while, Brian Hoyer, wasn't that good. I mean, the list goes on and on. And I know those were more late draft picks, so you can't really evaluate him because he wasn't taking first round quarterbacks. But when he did, the dude sucked. But outside of that, I mean, I think he has a chance to do well. He can obviously converse with the 18 to 24-year-olds just fine. He's doing all right in the co-ed department, so there's a chance he could do well.
And and I'll echo that sentiment. And then we're up against it here for the break, but if you're watching out there on Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Dave's here. G is here. A lot of people in the chat tonight, getting it moving and grooving. But if you could hit that like and subscribe button, turn on the bell notification so you know when we go live, that helps us. And it's a big thing that we're trying to do here, trying to get this thing monetized. So,
and I do have one question for the chat here. I know. So Dallas is a great area. First of all, my dad lives there. Love Dallas. I guess my question to you, like, if you know, and obviously you say you know guys that know the family, where do they think his current draft stock is? Because I've heard anywhere from late first, early second to potential day 2 guy. And if he's a day 2 guy, it would make sense to come back to college. But I don't know what the family thinks. I don't know what he's being told. So if you do know that would be cool to know, because I'm curious as well. But yeah, I mean, other than that, so yeah, go ahead.
The conversation that I'm engaged with,
okay, fair enough.
It has nothing to do with the draft grade.
I think it has everything to do with the draft grade.
It has nothing to do with the draft grade.
What does it have to do with?
I think that the potentially, I don't know if I can say it, but it has nothing to do with the draft grade. But I think that I think that are we hopping into this now, or do you want to hit a couple other?
No, we can move on to some other things real quick let's get into that.
Let's hit this and save it for midway through. We'll get through all the other things, and we'll save it for the topic du jour.
Yeah. But I don't know if you guys saw this. But so they released the top 10 highest paid assistants in college football for this year. And a lot of these were, I think I knew most of these. Number one, Blake Baker, the defense coordinator for LSU, making $2.5 million to put out one of the worst defenses in the SEC. Number 2, Wink Martindale, who, he did an all right job. He beat Ohio State. Number 3, Jim Knowles. What I didn't know is, did you know? Sorry, my voice is going right now. Did you know that Utah is the only school in all of America outside of with Ohio State that has both their DC and OC making over $2 million a year?
I did not know that.
Utah of all schools.
Utah, they got some money.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me. Was there anything on this list that shocked you? I mean, the Utah guys kind of shocked me, but
I think the DC coordinator from Florida State.
Well, I think he got fired, didn't he? But he did make over $2 million before he got fired.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But outside of that, I mean, so one thing that's crazy about this list, how many OCs do you see on the list?
Just
Two.
So 8 of the top 10 paid assistant coaches in college football are defensive coordinators. What does that tell you about college football?
Well, that's why a lot the most of the national championships that have been won by defensive minded guys.
Yeah, probably.
Who was the last offensive guy to win one?
Harbaugh.
Oh,
last year.
Okay, you take Harbaugh out of it. Who?
Okay. If we're taking Harbaugh out of it, let's see.
Take Harbaugh out of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. We can move the goalpost, as Duke loves to do. Before him was probably either go Eddie O, probably Ed Orgeron in 19. That would be my guess. I'd have to look back. Obviously, the main guys like Saban, defensive guy, Kirby, defensive guy, Dabo, defensive. No, Dabo's an offensive guy. I'm trying to think.
Urban Meyer?
Urban, offensive guy.
I think that, at the head coach point, I think that, guys that call plays have had the offensive guys that are head coaches that call plays haven't been wildly successful.
No, if you're the head coach and you're calling the plays, you don't win. That never happens. Literally, almost never.
And the closest guy that has, that's came close, that's competitive year in and year out is Lane, but
I would disagree. I think Ryan Day's been a lot closer than Lane Kiffin, meaning he's made the playoffs in the championship game. Lane has never.
Well,
am I wrong?
I guess the drumming in 2020, I mean, if we can call that successful, but yeah, that is a good point, Sid, here.
What do you mean 2022?
He lost.
All right, but Lane Kiffin has never made a playoff. What are you talking about?
Yeah, because Lane had to completely reset the deal.
Oh, my God. Anyways, yeah, Ryan Day has been closer than Lane Kiffin. It's not close. So it is, Sid, it is because Notre Dame's private. So they don't know the exact salary. These are all public institutions that are listed. That's like the same reason that when you look up the NIL numbers, Notre Dame's never listed, because nobody knows what their NIL numbers really are because they aren't public universities. They don't have to disclose that. But Chip Kelly was a ripoff. I don't know if that. I mean, I don't disagree, but I don't necessarily know. I don't think Chip Kelly was the reason they lost to Michigan. Let me just put it that way.
All right, we're not going down. We're not doing that today. I don't want to do that today.
I mean, I know it for a fact, so I don't care what you say.
No. I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
Like, I don't even want to hash that at this point.
Yeah, exactly. But in other news, god damn, man, my voice is just getting worse. Sorry. The updated national championship odds came out for all the teams in the playoff. And let me throw them up here if you haven't seen them. And if you have, look at them again. Leader in the clubhouse, Texas, at almost 25% chance, which is crazy because they don't have a bye. And Penn State doesn't have a bye.
What does Vegas know that we don't know?
They know that Quinn Ewers is him.
I better fix my bracket.
No, don't fix your bracket. The favorite never wins. But 24.9% chance for Texas, 19% chance for Penn State. That is 100% because they play the easiest path to the Final Four. 100%. That's why. Oregon went 15.3, Georgia 12.7. How about this? Your Notre Dame Fighting Irish 8.4% ahead of the Buckeyes.
They got a whole percentage above the Buckeyes.
Yeah, ahead of the Buckeyes.
I got the Buckeyes and the Irish in our bracket playing for the Natty.
Well, maybe I should change mine.
Hold on, I'll tell you who I picked.
I don't know.
Well, who do you think I picked to win it all?
Arizona State. I think you picked.
Yeah.
I think you picked Georgia. You're a major SEC homer.
SEC these nuts.
But who do you think I picked them to play against?
Probably Texas.
Nope.
Nah, that can't play Indiana. I'm thinking Arizona State.
Nope.
Oregon.
Boise State.
Nope.
Georgia.
Did you put Ohio State in?
Give me the Clemson Tigers.
Oh my God, you are literally the worst, bro. You're the worst.
Rematch week 1. Rematch week 1.
Oh, you're the worst, man.
No,
Clemson's not even making it out of round 1. That's fine. You're gonna be cooked. Next time, just give me $20. Don't even make a bracket.
And give me $20.
Yeah, just give everybody $20. But how about this? Your Clemson Tigers have the worst chance in the entire bracket to win.
0.5% for Boise. Damn.
Yeah, Boise's got a better chance. Fucking Arizona State, Indiana, SMU.
What's up, baby?
Your Tigers have the worst chance in all of it to win it all. So just know that's how your bracket's going to go. A couple things to get to here. I don't care if my team wins. Just don't want to see Texas, Georgia. Yeah, nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. I agree with you, Sam.
I've already seen it twice. If they play a third time, and if Texas wins, if they did that, what do you even do? We've already established who the best team between those two is. They played twice. Georgia won twice. Just don't even give me that. But it's Texas hasn't beat anybody. You want to see Texas, Georgia? Dude, we've already seen it twice. Why? Just see Texas, anybody else if you're a Texas fan. Why do you want to? You want that get back. That's why. You want that get back on your 2 losses. I got you. Hey, if I was a Texas fan, I'd want Georgia to get that get back. Unfortunately, you probably lose for a third time, and then that'd just be miserable. But other than that, yeah, exactly, because I want the get back. Yeah, I get it. That makes sense. As a Longhorn fan, I get it. But if you had to pick one dark horse to win, so you obviously can't take. I mean, you can take the 3 or 4 seed, but you can't take Oregon or Georgia. Who's your dark horse to win it all? And I would put Ohio State, Notre Dame in the category of can't take because they're top 5 teams. Who do you think could make a run?
I think Arizona State, man. Skater bro.
Skater bro.
I mean, they kicked the
What
shit out
about
of
Duke?
Iowa State.
I don't know what Duke's doing over there. You never know what he's doing. Mom, Meatloaf.
We won now.
My top, like I said, my top 3 to win it were Georgia, Notre Dame, Clemson.
Okay. So he's got Notre Dame. I like that pick. Penn State or Tennessee? I like Tennessee. Tennessee's sneaky.
See?
Tennessee's sneaky. Clemson, LSU? Clemson's not, no. And this one right here. If it's Notre Dame, Ohio State, Notre Dame has to bring the green jerseys up. Buddy, are you a Notre Dame fan? Because if you are, please don't ever say that again. Absolutely not.
Walk off
100%.
Baby.
No.
Yes,
100%.
Yes,
If it's Notre Dame, Notre Dame, Ohio State, I want green jerseys as far away from that game as possible. I don't even want them in the same area code, same zip code, same time zone. Like, get the green jerseys, ship them to Ireland. I don't want them anywhere near that game. But if it's Notre Dame, Ohio State, so buddy of mine, because I have connections to Ohio State. I'm a Notre Dame fan, but I have connections to Ohio State, and they already told me, dude, if it's a Notre Dame, Ohio State natty, I already got your jersey ordered. I was like, what? He goes, I'm giving you the Lord Quinn, baby. I'm giving you the number 3 jersey, split down the middle, half scarlet, half blue, with your name on the back. And I was like, dude, that's kind of tough. I actually would rock it, but yeah,
AliExpress.
Yeah, off AliExpress. Fucking right. Alibaba. It's no joke, bud. But
dude, I got Notre Dame upsetting Georgia on my bracket.
That's a good pick, I think. I think
they can beat them.
I think that's the only team that can beat them in the playoff.
We all agree on one thing, and I love it.
So Travis Hunter wins the Biletnikoff and Bednarik.
Yeah, which is wild. I'm not even going to put the graphic up because everybody knows who Travis Hunter is. But he wins the Biletnikoff as the best receiver, which I think. I mean, so I went into they can't beat GA. I agree. Yeah, that's what. Have you seen the alternate jerseys that Tennessee might wear? They're not actually, but it's black jerseys, black helmet with orange winged helmets, just to fucking make Ryan Day shit his pants.
Yeah.
But Travis Hunter wins the Biletnikoff. I was against this at first because I think there are a number of receivers I think are better than him at receiver. And you can't tell me he's the best receiver in the country. However, I saw some stats that were pretty interesting. Did you know that Travis Hunter has caught 96% of his targets?
Pretty damn good. I mean, that's fucking phenomenal.
Insane. Like, he's targeted 10 times, he catches 9.6. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
And so, like, he's a good receiver, so I don't have a huge problem. He's a great corner. I have no problem with him winning the Bednarik. I do think it's crazy that he wins the award for best defensive player in the country, but doesn't win the award for best defensive back. So you're telling me there's a better defensive back, but not a better defensive player? I think that's weird.
Yeah,
it's be like winning the MVP, but not offensive player of the year or something. Like, what?
Yeah, I agree with.
So here's the thing about that, and I agreed with you until I looked into it more. Number one, he plays at San Jose State, and you're never going to get me to support these small school kids for the best player in the country awards, because if he was that good, he would be somewhere else.
Yep.
And number two, when you look at his stats, first of all, the one stat I just told you where Travis Hunter caught the ball 96% of the time when targeted, that kid, I forget his name, Niles or something like that, he only caught like 11% of his targets. I think it was like 46% of his targets. On top of that, majority of his targets were less than 5 yards, and he ran after the catch. Yeah, he deserved more love. Okay, I get you, Sam. I agree. He could have got some more love for sure. It's hard for me to view these kids. Like Ashton Genty, I get it. He's a really good running back, and he put up stats against Oregon, but majority of his stats are against teams that anybody could put stats up against for the most part. And you can't tell me, the one dude in the SEC, God, I can't remember his name, but he put up similar stats. And it's like, dude, he's doing it against NFL players week in and week out. It's a little more impressive. Just for me, I'm not trying to be a hater, but it's just.
It's hard.
My thing is, yeah, go ahead.
It's hard to see when it comes to Genty and the kid from San Jose State, the level of competition and all of that, fun stuff that goes into it. It's hard to get the awards correct because there's so many players, so many teams. Like the Heisman for the last 10 years has been a quarterback award. And also
Devontae.
Yeah, but also you have to look at who votes for these, and I think that's a big key to this. Like, look at the college football playoff. Like, look at the names on that list, and do those people really know what's going on? I mean, you had Condoleezza Rice on there a few years ago.
Well, on the college football playoff committee, yeah.
Yeah.
But so here's what I was going to bring up. And first of all, I agree. The awards were weird. Mason Graham not being nominated for best interior alignment was crazy.
That's criminal.
Zavala not being up for the Groza was insane. And Dave, are you a Michigan fan? Because you just named 2 Michigan players. So then need to know. But
he's
I think
here.
But I love it. Stand in the paint. But so this brings up one of my questions, though, because if Genty goes for 175 against Penn State and Boise beats Penn State,
Heisman.
Do you think they should wait to award the Heisman until after the playoffs?
I think they should, because you don't know what he's gonna do in the playoffs.
Here, I agree to a degree. I think the thing is like, especially with the way the playoffs are set up now, it gives such an advantage to the teams that get in, right? Because like Travis Hunter, Cam Ward, they're not going to play a meaningful game the rest of the year. So you're talking about awarding it 2 months from now. Nobody's even going to remember what those guys did this season by the time they vote. So obviously Genty and Dylan Gabriel are going to get majority of the votes. They played in the playoffs. Assuming one of them makes a run, he's going to win. So that discounts the entire year that somebody put together. However, I do agree that there has to be something said for taking your team to the playoffs and performing at a high level in a situation like that. Like if Genty goes out and dominates the playoffs and Boise makes a run.
I agree. Dave does make a good point there. That's just my opinion. I think the
Heisman used to be, but in the past few years, I mean, Caleb Williams won the Heisman. He wasn't on the best team. Jaden Daniels won the Heisman. He wasn't on the best team. Travis Hunter's going to win the Heisman. He's definitely not on the best team. So in the past, the past few years, it hasn't. But I agree. Normally, like when Mark Ingram won it, it went to the best player on the best team. That's typically how it goes. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. Maybe you do 2 awards. You do like an MVP for the regular season, and then you do like a playoffs MVP as well. But
yeah, it's
because like even in like baseball, they have the MVP for the regular season, then they have like the championship series MVP, World Series MVP. So there's other MVP awards. Lamar Jackson won it playing at Louisville. He wasn't on the best team, but they're most of the 2010s, like the best player at the best school won the Heisman, except for when Tebow didn't win it the second time when he should have.
Yeah. And
But
then
speaking of Heisman Trophy winners, I got a clip for you, and because we're gonna move into kind of the meat and potatoes of this show, but I did want to get this out there because we've talked a lot about Deuce Knight on this show because obviously committed to Notre Dame, flipped, went to Auburn, and he put out a graphic of him wearing the number 2 at Auburn. There you go. And he said something about trying to bring it back to the 2010s. And Cam Newton was asked if he thinks Deuce Knight should be able to wear the number 2. And here's what he had to say. And me and Richie tested this, and the audio works. So if it doesn't, I'm going to be a little pissed.
And looks like he wants to rock your number 2 jersey. All right. What's your thoughts? Like, what does he need to do? And can he rock number 2? Is that even? Can he rock it? Has he reached out?
Deshaun showed me the text. It's a fuck no for me.
Okay. I wouldn't want to wear nobody's jersey. Your statue is in the front of the.
I like Deuce.
Mm-hmm.
Played against him. He was on Destroying 707 when I did get the chance to see him and meet him. But in this day and age, bro, everything's earned.
Yeah.
You got to earn it right. And what you did in high school, nobody gives a fuck in college. I really hope that you're good. I really hope that you can stay at Auburn. I really hope that you can do everything that you're going to say. But as an avid, diehard Auburn fan, it's easily said than done, bro. Like, win the locker room first. Fuck numbers. Fuck, like, entitlement. Fuck NIL. Fuck all that shit. Bro, win a game. Because the quarterback play over the years at Auburn has been egregious. It's been satanic. It has been something that I can't even watch a game.
Yeah.
And that's a shot at all players who've played and coaches who've allowed them to play. And you would say, well, didn't Bo Nix play at Auburn? Yes, and he was ass.
I'll stop it there. He goes on to talk about Bo Nix for a minute, which I was really confused on why he brought Bo Nix up. But what do you guys think? Should Deuce Knight be allowed to wear the number 2?
I think Scam Newton's got a great point. Win the locker room. Win a game. Prove yourself.
Who is Scam Newton? I have no idea who that is. I know who Cam Newton is. Heisman Trophy winner, national champion.
Cam Newton.
You know, he scammed some people out of some money.
I don't think Cam scammed anybody out of money. I think it's
the
called.
dude that he stole the laptop from got scammed. But
Well, that's allegedly.
Allegedly.
I know some people on staff at that school.
Allegedly, but you know.
No, I do.
mean,
There's no allegedly to that. But
well,
anyways, yes.
Here's the deal. This is just in the Wayback Machine before we jump to Quinn Ewers, and then we'll reset the show. If Cam Newton stays at Florida, how do you think that
checks out?
How does that shake out?
Urban Meyer has probably 4 natties, and Cam Newton has 2 Heisman trophies.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm dead serious. I mean, that room, you got to understand, that room was Tim Tebow, Cam Newton, and John Brantley. No, John Brantley. Well, Chris Leak. Tim was a freshman, Chris Leak's senior year. So yeah. Cam came in the year after. Okay. And they would have won the natty. Well, Urban would have won that first natty with Chris Leak and Tim Tebow. They would have won the natty in 2007 that they won. But then you would have had 2008 and 9 with Cam Newton as a junior and senior. I mean,
beating Bama.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, Urban would have got 2 more natties at Florida. Tim Tebow would have won the 1 Heisman. He would have got cheated out of a second. And then I truly believe Cam Newton in Urban Meyer's offense wins 2 Heismans.
I mean, he was literally a cheat code.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. But beyond that, I think what he's saying is, I understand what he's saying, meaning like earn it, right? But at the same time, dude, it's a fucking number. Your number is not retired. You have no say over that number. I don't care. Whatever. Like, what are we talking about here? Archie Griffin's number was retired at Ohio State. Nobody was allowed to wear it. And then they recruited a guy by the name of Andy Katzenmoyer, and he came in and said, I want to wear 45. And they went to Archie like, hey, do you care if this guy wears 45? And he was like, oh, he's a big-time recruit. He seems pretty good. Yeah, sure, he can wear 45. And guess what he did? Went on to become one of the most legendary linebackers in Ohio State history wearing 45. Like, get over yourself, Cam Newton. You sound like a petty fucking washed-up athlete who has nothing else to claim to your name other than your legacy. Sorry.
I think that...
Did he win a Super Bowl?
No, he didn't win a Super Bowl, but
he didn't. Okay, yeah, that's right. That's right.
I mean, he's got a national championship and a Heisman Trophy, and literally no other player on that offense.
Bought, not developed.
I don't think. I think that's an old wise tale told by people that
he got paid to go to Auburn.
Yeah,
you think that's a joke? Like, dude,
that's an old
lost his job over it.
That's all just stories. It's all stories.
You can't be serious right now.
Stories.
You can't be serious right now.
You're telling.
Yeah, and Reggie Bush went to USC just because he liked Pete Carroll.
Yeah, you're telling all these stories. There was no benefits ever changing hands.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Cam Newton's dad didn't demand 6 figures. That definitely never happened.
Wasn't it 80 grand?
Mm-mm.
It was
over 100. It was over 100.
And I think that Cam Newton is probably a top 5 player in that university's history. And he
for sure. I don't disagree.
He had the best single season in college football.
I think Joe Burrow would have something to say about that.
He brought him back in the Iron Bowl.
I mean, it took Burrow 2 years to do that.
Yeah, but he had the best single season, is what I'm saying.
Florida JUCO.
Yeah, I know. Cam was ridiculous. Don't get me wrong.
So
if he doesn't buy a stolen laptop, he's a legend.
I don't think.
But
I think if he really wanted to, I think he could still play.
No, he can't. We saw that. But
you think he can't be any worse than Tommy Cutlets?
Yeah, I don't know, but apparently everybody in the NFL thinks he can be.
Well, I mean, everybody left Sam Darnold for dead.
Speaking of players that got paid a lot of money to play quarterback somewhere, there's one player that we're getting conflicting reports on. He's in the playoffs, was projected to be a top 10 pick, hasn't had a great year, and is projected to maybe go into the second or third round.
Yeah, we got the thumbnail.
And he has been offered, from what I've been told and what I've heard, at least $4 million to go to a Big Ten school. Does Quinn Ewers come back to college first?
I think he does. I think he's going to get a bad draft grade. He's going to be like, screw this. I'm not going second, third round. I'm coming back for another year to see if I can boost my draft stock for 2026.
Here's what I was told. It is the deal that is on the table for Quinn Ewers at a school could reset this whole NIL thing. And the $4 million, it's not enough. It's more.
So that tells me it's not a Big Ten school. Or, well, I guess, never mind. I forgot USC is a Big Ten school. He said it has to be USC, right?
Could it be USC? Could it be
Could be
Ohio State?
Ohio State?
Could it?
If it's
Could
more
be
than 4 million,
Indiana.
I know it's not Ohio State. If it's more than 4 million, it's not Indiana. It could be Michigan. Maybe Joe Lynn is out there just bobbing on that. Never mind.
Maybe it's, maybe it's Michigan. Maybe it's somewhere else. But there is a deal.
The deal I heard about was $4 million. It was a Big Ten school. It was in the state of, it was a Big Ten school. That's right. And it was in the state of Indiana. But maybe that's been outbid already. Because I know Ohio State fans want to, like, hey, we're still here. You liked us once. And my understanding of the relationship with Ryan Day is it's going to take a lot to fix that relationship because of the way Ryan Day did him dirty when he came here. Not traveling him on the squad for a walk-on quarterback, telling him Kyle McCord would never start at Ohio State, and then giving Kyle McCord all of the garbage time reps and letting him hand it off twice really didn't sit well with Quinn. Michigan is getting the guy from Maryland. That's pretty much done. I forget his name. I looked it up earlier, but the Maryland quarterback is transferring to Michigan. So I believe it's not Michigan. I've heard Notre Dame throw their hat in the ring, but I think if it's more than $4 million, Notre Dame's not in. Indiana, I don't believe, has the money to keep up with anything beyond $4 million. Didn't go to Texas because of one thing, Herman. Ooh. So once Herman left, he went, is what you're saying? That makes sense. Tom Herman's a douchebag, so you're never going to get me to support that fuck. But yeah, so I believe Oregon, USC are the two leaders in the clubhouse for if it's more than $4 million. Herman left, we transferred. Yeah, no, I knew he was a UT kid, but if he comes back, I don't think UT wants him anymore. And you've said, you obviously know more, like a more personal connection to that situation. But I think Texas is on board with its Arch Manning time. So if he comes back to college, I don't think Texas takes him back unless they force Arch out, and that would be really a tough look. So CJ Carr, my understanding of CJ Carr, from what I've heard, he's obviously redshirting. I think they're excited about CJ Carr, but I do believe they are going to bring in a transfer quarterback to compete. That's just what I've been told. I think they are going to bring go into the transfer portal for a quarterback. I don't know if it'll be a big name like Quinn Ewers. I don't know if it'll be more of a depth piece. Just because if CJ Carr is the guy, they're probably going to lose Angeli. And so they might need some depth in the room. But I do believe they are actively searching in the portal for the next guy that could compete. I believe the hope is CJ Carr's ready, but it's similar to the situation Ohio State's in. Ohio State has two really young quarterbacks. Devin Brown's leaving. Lincoln Keenholz isn't ready. I think everybody at Ohio State believes Julian Sain is the next guy, just like Notre Dame believes CJ Carr is the next guy. But I think they all believe they need another year. And so if Angeli's ready, they'll keep him. But if they don't believe Angeli's the guy, they're going to bring in a transfer portal quarterback. I promise you. Dante Moore, that's the guy from UCLA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he transferred to Oregon. He's he is in line. I just don't know if he has it. I think there's question marks about him. And so Oregon and Dan Lanning is not in the camp of, kind of finding out. Like if they don't think they have the guy, they're going to go get somebody. Yeah, Dante Moore definitely is a potential, but I'm telling you, with the amount of money Oregon has, if they can lock in somebody they think is superior, they will. Devin Brown, I don't think Devin
That's what
Brown's looking at Notre Dame.
that. You don't think?
No, I don't think so. I think if Notre Dame's going to bring in a transfer quarterback, it's going to be somebody more proven.
True.
They're not going to take a flyer on a guy that they have to develop. They already got guys to develop.
Right.
If Notre Dame brings in a transfer quarterback, it's going to be somebody who has experience. That's
Kinda
just my understanding of the situation. Just like what Ohio State did this past year. Or Sam Hartman, Riley Leonard, like proven starters that you know what they are. And so I think that's where we're at. But I do think Quinn Ewers, if he comes back, and I know there's still a lot of chance that he goes to the NFL. I think that's where he would prefer to go. I just don't know what his stock is right now. And I think if the stock isn't where he wants it to be, he will come back to college. And I think he will leave Texas because I don't see Texas pushing Arch Manning out. Just my belief from who I've talked to and what I've heard. I could be wrong. I'm wrong a lot. But before we get out of here, I do want to talk about the little Notre Dame. So they had 2 freshman All-Americans. Your boy Anthony Knapp, or Anthony Knapp, as he's called, at the tackle position. And then Love, the corner. Freshman All-Americans. Xavier Watts was an All-American. Riley Mills was honorable mention. And here's what I'm going to leave you with. I'm going to play this video just to get everybody a little hyped up. Because, guys, I don't think everybody's ready for this jelly. Let me know if you don't have audio. I swear to God, I might shoot somebody. All right. You ready? I don't know about you guys, but that shit gets me juiced. Like, I am jacked up, man. Give me goosebumps. Like, we are 1 week away. This time next week, we will be watching Notre Dame play in Notre Dame Stadium in a playoff game. I mean, 1 week away. I'm so jacked up and ready to go, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. Too bad it isn't a Southern team. I agree, but I'll take the opportunity to embarrass Indiana any day. I think it's going to be awesome. And the thing is, like, I know everybody's heard all the stipulations the CFP has where you have to cover your banners and cover your logos and all this stupid shit that just makes it not a true home game. I'm telling you right now, Notre Dame's going to put up a show, and it is going to be rocking. It's one of my favorite stadiums. I have been to every stadium you can think of, just about. And it's going to be fucking crazy, dude. If you can afford the $1,200 to get in the door, I suggest you do it right now, because it is going to be I would love to go to this game. I'd love to go to Ohio State. But I'm telling you, I think the best environment of this weekend is going to be Notre Dame Stadium on Friday night. There's not a question in my mind. Yeah,
we will see. It is a week away. At this time next week, we will be watching the Irish take on.
Hey, bro, why is it fuck us, man? Like, damn.
The NIU thing happened, and it's been
it's been a long time, man. It's been a long time, but we'll get past it. Hey, Ohio State lost to a bad Virginia Tech team and won the Natty. I don't want to hear it. We dropped a bad one. I hope Tennessee brings a flag. Oh, so before we get out, did you guys see Tennessee posted the route that they want to take from the stadium to the river to take the goalpost after they win?
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, well, here's the good news for Tennessee fans. Y'all better bring some cranes, because that bitch is cemented well into the earth. You can't get that bitch out.
Oh, yeah.
But if you bring a flag, be prepared to go to court, because it's going to be a felony.
Yeah,
But-
with that being said, I will say this much: one of the schools for the Quinn Ewers sweepstakes was mentioned on the show tonight. I have confirmation of that. Which one it is? Who knows? We will.
Typical Duke.
We will see.
Hey, our guy Steve's in here. What's up, Steve? That's our guy Steve from Cigaro. Had a great time last weekend, man. But I hate flag plants too. I think it's such bitch energy. You can go watch our short. I call it exactly what it is. But Duke, get us out of here though.
The flag planting is dumb. Yeah, so it is what it is. I had to read that last comment, but we will see what it is. Thanks for everybody watching and tuning in tonight. If you could do us a huge favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Send it to your group chat. We're live Monday through Friday, 7:30 most nights. Tonight was a little bit different, so we kept it rolling with the punches, the Quinn Ewers thing. Keep an eyeball on that and see how that plays out. I've been saying it for weeks. Texas has a Arch Manning problem. Will it finally come up in the playoffs? Who knows? Maybe Sark will think about it at least. But until then, everybody out there, thanks for tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 before January. And with that being said, everybody have a good night.
Have a great night, everybody.